Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Let's dissect anatomy. Here right now we are discussing the osteology practical series, in which we have discussed introduction, norma verticalis and norma occipitalis. Today we are going to discuss norma lateralis, means study of the skull from sides. So without any delay, let's get started. First of all, the bones that we can see in this view. Here you can see this is the frontal bone, parietal bone, occipital bone, temporal bone. This is the sphenoid bone. Then comes mandible, zygomatic, maxilla and nasal. So these are the bones that we can see from this view. Now the features of norma lateralis. So first of all, we are going to discuss the temporal line. Here you can see this is the temporal line, starting just above the zygomatic bone, going backward crosses the frontal bone, then coronal sutures, going backward over the parietal bone, then it turns slightly downward and again come forward to ends over here. We have discussed the detail about this line in norma verticalis, so you can go through that video also. So this is the temporal line. The second feature, that is zygomatic arch. Here you can see on each side of the skull you can see an arch shaped horizontal bar of a bone. This is called zygomatic arch. This zygomatic arch is actually formed by the two bone. This is the zygomatic bone and this is the temporal bone. Before describing the zygomatic bone, I want to tell you what do you mean by process in case of bone. So process means any extension of the bone to articulate with the another bone, that is called the process of that particular bone. Here in this case, here you can see this is the zygomatic bone. It extends towards the temporal bone to articulate with it. So this extension of zygomatic bone is called process of zygomatic bone. Same way, here you can see this is the temporal bone, and this extension of temporal bone to articulate with the zygomatic bone, this extension is called process of the temporal bone. So process means जो बॉन का कोई पार्ट दूसरे बॉन के साथ आर्टिकुलेट होने के लिए एक्सटेंड होता है, so that extended part of the particular bone is called process of that bone. और उसका नाम कैसे होता है? तो ये है zygomatic bone और ये है temporal bone, right? तो zygomatic bone किसके साथ एक्सटेंड आर्टिकुलेट होने के लिए एक्सटेंड हो रहा है? टेम्पोरल के साथ. सो द नेम ऑफ दिस प्रोसेस इज टेम्पोरल प्रोसेस ऑफ zygomatic bone, and same way the name of this extension is zygomatic process of temporal bone. Okay, so this zygomatic process, it's formed by, or its anterior 1/3 part by the temporal process of the zygomatic bone, and posterior 2/3 of this process bar is formed by the zygomatic process of the temporal bone. There is a suture in between them. Here you can see this is the suture. This is called zygomatico-temporal suture. Okay. So this zygomatic arch has two surfaces. This is the inner or medial surface and this is the outer or lateral surface. And this is the upper border and this is the lower border. The feature of the upper border, so anterior most part of the zygomatic arch upper border is called jugal point. So this point is called jugal point, and this is the lower border. Here you can see the bony extension or bony prominence. This is called articular tubercle. Behind the tubercle you can see a depression or fossa. This is the mandibular fossa. Here the head of the mandible fits like this. Head of the mandible fits like this. So this is the mandibular fossa, this one. Then here you can see behind this is articular tubercle, this is mandibular fossa. Behind the mandibular fossa you can see a small projection also there. Here this is called post-glenoid tubercle. So three structures in a row from before to backward. The projection, larger projection is called articular tubercle, then a depression or fossa, it is called mandibular fossa, and again a smaller projection, it is called post-glenoid tubercle. So this is all about the zygomatic arch. Now the third feature, that is external acoustic meatus. Here you can see a canal-like opening within the bone. As it is canal-like opening, it is called meatus. As it is situated over the auditory region, it is called auditory or acoustic, and as we can see it from outside, it is the external. So the name of this canal is external auditory or acoustic meatus. Now the margin, how it forms. So here you can see the anterior margin, the lower margin, inferior margin, and the lower half of the posterior margin. From here to here, this much part is formed by a plate that is called tympanic plate. This is the tympanic plate. Then remaining part means the upper half of the posterior margin and this superior margin. It is formed by the squamous part of the temporal bone. Actually temporal bone have total 4 parts. This flat part is called the squamous part of the temporal bone. This plate-like part is called tympanic part of the temporal bone. Also it is known as the tympanic plate. This thick massive part is called the mastoid part of the temporal bone, and one more part, that is petrous temporal part, that we will discuss during the study of norma basalis. So here you are clear about the margin of the meatus. Now over the postero-superior part, here you can see a small triangle is there. Postero-superior part of the meatus, postero-superior, this triangle is known as suprameatal triangle. As it is situated superior to the meatus, it is called suprameatal, and as it is the triangular, it is known as suprameatal triangle. This triangle is very important for the ENT surgeon because exactly inside this triangle there is a mastoid antrum. So any surgery related to the mastoid antrum is performed through this triangle. So this is the important clinical importance of this triangle. Now the next part, next feature, here you can see this is the mastoid part of the temporal bone. This one is the mastoid part of the temporal bone. Here you can see the very thick bony projection, downward projection. This is called mastoid process. Mastoid process, the process that you can feel behind your ear. Over here you can see, you can feel just behind your ear, you can see a bony rounded projection. This is nothing but it is the mastoid process. It develops in the second year of life. 1 साल का जब बच्चा होता है तब it is absent. It develops after the completion of 1 year. It appears in the second year of life. Okay. Behind the mastoid process, you can see a groove or notch. This is called mastoid groove or mastoid notch. Now this is the tympanic part of the temporal bone and this is the mastoid part of the temporal bone. In between them you can see a gap. Here you can see the gap. This is the fissure actually. The name of the fissure is, this is tympanic plate and this is mastoid part of the temporal bone. So the name of this fissure is tympanomastoid fissure. Tympanomastoid fissure. Now over the mastoid part you can see the foramen. as you all know that we have discussed during the occipitalis, this is the mastoid foramen, right? Now here you can notice this is the parietal bone, this is the mastoid part of the temporal bone, and this is the occipital bone. So here you can see a junction of three sutures over here. The suture between parietal and mastoid is parieto-mastoid suture. This one, suture between parietal and occipital, this is the lambdoid suture, and suture between occipital and mastoid, this is the occipito-mastoid suture. So these three sutures forms a junction over here, and this junction is called asterion in adult skull. In newborn skull, it is the site of membranous gap, and that site in newborn skull is known as posterolateral fontanelle or mastoid fontanelle. Posterolateral पीछे है और साइड में है, तो नेम इज posterolateral fontanelle or mastoid fontanelle, and it fuses at the age of 1 year. Now the next feature is temporal fossa. So here you can see a depression over the side of the skull. This is the temporal fossa. So boundary of the temporal fossa. So above it is bounded by this line. This is the temporal line. Below the boundary is divided into two parts. One is medial part, second is lateral part. So here you can see from the lower view, this is the lateral part, this is the medial part. So upper border of zygomatic arch forms the boundary laterally, while here you can see the sharp line is there over here, this one. This sharp line is actually, any sharp line over the bone is called crest. As it is situated below the temporal fossa, it is called infratemporal crest. But bone कौन सा है? This is the greater wing of sphenoid bone. So इसको बोलेंगे, ये line को बोलेंगे infratemporal crest of greater wing of sphenoid. So medially infratemporal crest of greater wing of sphenoid और laterally upper border of zygomatic arch. तो ये हो गई lower boundary. Anterior wall, this is the anterior wall of the fossa. It is mainly formed by the zygomatic bone, and upper part of it is formed by the frontal bone. Over the anterior wall, a very small foramen is there. Here you can see this one. This is the zygomatico-temporal foramen. So it is present over the anterior wall of the temporal fossa. Now the floor of the fossa. So this is called the floor of the fossa. Here you can notice there are four bones articulate with each other: frontal, parietal, squamous part of the temporal, and sphenoid. So these four bones articulate with each other and forms the H-shaped suture. Here you can see this is the H-shaped suture, and this H-shaped suture formed over the floor of the fossa, it is called pterion, P-T-E-R-I-O-N, where P is silent in adult skull, and this is the site of membranous gap in newborn skull, where it is called anterolateral fontanelle. It also fuses at the age of 1 year. This site has a very much clinical importance because exactly behind this pterion, three important structures are situated. One is anterior branch of the middle meningeal artery, middle meningeal vein, and lateral sulcus of brain. So these are the three structures situated exactly behind this area. So any direct blow or during road traffic accident, there will be a rupture of this anterior branch of middle meningeal artery, will cause a heavy bleeding, and collection of the blood behind this causes this extradural hematoma, and if this hematoma lasts for more than an hour, it compresses the vital areas of the brain and causes the paralysis of the opposite side of the body. So it is a very important clinical significance of this point, pterion. So that is all about the features of the norma lateralis. Now structure passing through foramens and canals. So foramen, here you have seen the zygomaticotemporal foramen, which passes the nerve of the same name, means zygomaticotemporal nerve. Then comes the mastoid foramen. As you all know, it passes the emissary vein and meningeal branch of the occipital artery. Then comes this fissure, tympanomastoid fissure. It passes the auricular branch of the vagus nerve, and another huge gap that you can see from the side of the skull, this one, it is between the temporal fossa and zygomatic arch. So this gap passes tendon of temporalis muscle, deep temporal nerves and deep temporal vessels. Okay.
यही नहीं, अभी और सुनिए.
Now the attachments over this region. So first of all, this temporal line provides attachment to the temporal fascia. Okay. Then second attachment, the whole temporal fossa except the part formed by the zygomatic bone, means anterior wall. It gives origin to the temporalis muscle. The third attachment, the lower border and medial surface of the zygomatic arch gives origin to the masseter muscle. Then fourth one, posterior part of the zygomatic arch gives attachment to the lateral ligament of TM joint. Then next, over the mastoid process, 3 insertions are there. From before to backward, they are sternocleidomastoid, splenius capitis and longissimus capitis. 3 in a row. All 3 are insertion. Then this is the mastoid notch, which gives origin to the posterior belly of digastric muscles. So these are the attachments over the norma lateralis. So that's it about norma lateralis. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe the channel and press the bell icon so that you can get every notification regularly without missing it, and share it to your friends who need this type of videos. So see you in the next practical video. Till then, goodbye. Thank you.